Hello, Sam Nation. Today I'm talking about Twitter and more specifically music Twitter. So yeah. And also before I start, I just want to clarify that this is more me just like recalling my personal experience with using the app and not really like an entire critical analysis on like the state of it. Even though I do think from a critical point of view, it also does kind of suck. So I've been on like Twitter, like music Twitter specifically for like 3 years now. Like I started consistently using like the app probably in like 2021, like my freshman year of high school. And I kind of started on rap Twitter and then moved to like music Twitter. And music Twitter is a lot more, I think I just like was transgender and shit. So like rap, like I think music Twitter was more like that part of the community, and rap Twitter not so much, even though there are still a decent amount of trans people on like rap Twitter. And what I've noticed from being on there so fucking long is I've seen like everybody come and go. Like anyone I was initially talking to when I first like was on the app, like they're all gone now and moved on. And it just was like, wow, like I'm still here making topsters and shit. Like that's so embarrassing. But yeah, I think a big reason to why a lot of people don't stay like as long as I have is because there's a lot of like mental illness and shit on the app. And I feel like that kind of bleeds through, like not even just mental illness, but just sadness. And like, I think people use the app as an escape from their shitty lives and just they're not happy like socially. So they find this social escape where they can still talk to people who are more similar to them that they can't find in their real life. Is a common phenomenon, and that's what I used it for a decent amount of time also when I wasn't really socially doing too well. So with that, I feel like that kind of bleeds into conversation where it just can get very negative very easily, and people just can get very upset and angry and these like things, this music, whatever, is very important to them, and they get very angry and can get into arguments about it very easily because I feel like generally they're people who are not doing too great in their own lives. And just the whole way this like music Twitter, whatever, functions, where it's like most conversations are just like, this is why your opinion's wrong. And it's just like so dumb. Like I don't really like it because it's not constructive in any way, and it's not productive, and it doesn't really make you think in any way. Like it's fine saying, oh well, I don't like this, but like I find it so strange when people are like, well, why the hell do you think this? Why do you think this is better than this? You're so stupid. Like what's the point in that? Like it's just like it can just be so exhausting sometimes. So as all these issues I found with the app and just this community, one day I was in my car with my family. We were going somewhere, and I was on it, and I was like, wow, this sucks. So I just deleted the app, and ever since then, like a month and a little bit now, I've just not really been on it. Like I have it on my laptop, so I'll go on it maybe once every day or two, and for no more than like, not 30 minutes at a time, but like in total 30 minutes in a day at most. Just by simply removing Twitter from like my day-to-day, like not making an active part of like my entire lifestyle, I think was really good for me. And just I felt much more like grounded and focused in my life. And I think I think that goes for any social media, but for especially me, Twitter, because I don't need to like hear anything. Like Instagram Reels or some shit, you need to hear it. But Twitter, you can just like go on it and scroll while you're like fucking talking to somebody or some shit. And removing that from my life was really great, because then like before it was just always in the back of my mind, like just always like this not nagging, but like there's just always this thing in my back of my mind. But once I deleted it, I was like, oh, I can't even look at it right now. Like it's not even an option. So there's no reason to even think about it anymore. And it took a few days to like get into that kind of mindset. But once I did it, I think it was really nice. And I felt much more at peace. And I felt like a real person doing real shit in life. And it was really awesome. It is really awesome. Just like I'm going along with my day, just being a normal person, not fucking worrying about Twitter or going on Twitter and tweeting, this would be a banger, whatever. Like, I'm not, like, that's not on my mind anymore, and I think it makes me more productive and more, and just like a happier person, and just like more fulfilled generally. But it's not all shitty shit. Like, I was on there for so long for a reason. Like, I think there's a lot of cool people on there, and you can find some really cool music on there, and there is a sense of community. You just got to find the right people, but it'll always bleed through that, like, negativity and shit that you can find. It's always going to come here and there, and then there's always shitty people, too. Like, the amount of fucking, like, pedophiles and shit is crazy, and yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of that through my years on X, Twitter. Yeah, I don't know, but you can make solid connections with people, like people who really are into the same shit as you, and you can have these great conversations. Like, actually, the other day I was at J-Big Mafia, like Jane Remover was opening, I went to see the tour, and this dude came up to me and was like, "Oh, are you Sammy? I know you from your fucking Twitter and YouTube and shit." And I think that's really cool. And then we talked. He was like a cool dude. And like, that's something that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been on the app and used it. And I think that that was very cool, and it was very fun. And being able to find like-minded people, like, it's good for that, but I think you should limit it to a certain portion of your day, and you shouldn't allow it to take over every aspect of your life. It should just be like an activity in your life. It shouldn't be like your life. Like, it shouldn't be like drinking water where you're just doing it throughout the day. Like, it should be more like, it should be like anything else. Like, it should be like reading or watching TV or some shit. Like, it should just be allocated to a certain part of your day, so you're not letting it control your life to such an extent. At least for me, I feel like that's really helped me, and I think a lot of other people may face a similar predicament. But yeah. So if I had any advice, I don't know why I'm giving advice. It's just what I had written down in my thing. But I'd recommend really just deleting Twitter from your phone for like a week or 2 weeks. If you have enough self-control, you don't have to even delete it. Just try not to be on it, and just see how you feel and shit. I don't know. Like, you can always go back if you're like, oh, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. But I think trying to be on it less is definitely something you should do. And I feel like it's kind of underrated when it comes to like addictive social medias, because I think it's pretty easy to be addicted to Twitter, like it is to be any other short form content. And I don't think people recognize that as much as something like TikTok or whatever. So yeah, this is a bit of a shorter one. That's all I really have to talk about. Follow my Twitter. It's at Sammy Pasta. And then I subscribe to this channel. I have a video out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. EST. And yeah, I'll keep doing this for, I think, a long time, because I have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, if you have any things you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments. If you have any thoughts, leave it in the comments. Yeah, so yeah. Sammy Pasta, Sam Nation, tuning out.